I want to talk to you for a moment about prosperity. And we're talking about prosperity in the incremental sense of just a bit at a time. Now, typically, when people are chasing after the benefits and the advantages of God, they want to buy into these myth and these false prophets and these hocus pocus teachers of health and wealth, that God is just going to abundantly bless you and you're going to be blessed beyond your wild imaginations with physical gain and whatnot. But let's look at life for a moment. If a person wishes to lose weight, if they will simply eat less for a continuous amount of time, they will lose the weight that they have accumulated, and there will be a dramatic change eventually. The same thing is true in a gym. If a man goes in or a woman goes in, they begin to train with the weights, and they begin to slowly and incrementally, by hard work and discipline, just add a little bit of weight each and every time they go in. They will become physically advantaged over where they were. At first, you can't even tell a difference. So many times people are just frustrated, like, nobody can tell I'm losing weight, or nobody can tell that I'm gaining any kind of athleticism to my life because the process is so slow. Yes, absolutely the case. Even with our finances, we find that if we invest our resources with just small, tiny interest rates, that eventually, with enough time, and that's the key component there, is with enough time, there are some massive changes. These things aren't incidental. They're not by accident. These three things that we have just mentioned are because there is a code written into the law of life around us that God Himself put in there, which is work, be wise, save, be frugal, and these things will increase. Now, it's so interesting that in the book of Jeremiah, roughly chapter 23, 25, somewhere in there, that God gets furious with the false prophets. And He says, I am so fed up with these guys because these false prophets, they want to tickle your ears. They want you to feel good when you're listening to them, etc. But in actuality, they don't present you any benefit at all. Not even the slightest benefit. And it infuriates God. Now, if you contrast that over here in Psalm 10, roughly verse 5, it says that His ways prosper at all times. The ways of God are always prosperous. They are always increasing in magnitude, even though it is subtle and even though it is slow. But think about that when you look at the life around you, when you're thinking about your spiritual life, when you are thinking about the reality of who God is. Would you rather have a life that has absolutely no progress and is just flatlined? Or would you rather follow God and know assuredly that each and every day that you follow Him, that all of His ways are prosperous and you are being increased bit by bit by bit?